Hello everyone, it's David again. We are on Babylon 5, Season 4, Episode 11, Lines of Communication. If you guys have not done so, please look at the update section. Some new and interesting information. Looks like the CW might be bought out, or getting to be bought out. Is that English? I don't know. At any rate, and I talk about what the implications are, possibly for the Babylon 5 reboot. We start off with ISN beating the war drums about how the aliens are subjugating the humans, and when is President Clark going to say enough is enough and send the troops in? Of course, they probably don't know he tried that once before, and the Minbari put a big old stop to it. We are told that Mars might be captured by the end of the year unless someone intervenes. About 75% of the rebel-held territory is now under Earth control, and someone needs to come in and intervene and save them, or Mars will be another victim of President Clark's. Unfortunately, 10 civilians were killed in a bombing on Mars. They didn't double check. They saw some troops trying to check in to the hotel. The troops must have left or something, and at any rate, they didn't double check, and 10 civilians were killed. And number one basically says, no more of this crap. We go in, and it starts off with the Drakh ship destroying a Pakhmara vessel, and Minbari allies of the religious caste, the Norsai, are being attacked, but the warrior caste is refusing to help. So, that split that started when Delenn broke up the Great Council is now starting to widen quite a bit. And we cue the entrance. There's a brief introduction to a character named Pharrell. He is a Minbari of the religious caste who is trying to get the Drakh to help destroy the warrior caste. Delenn says to Captain Sheridan, there's stuff going on back home I need to take care of, and he's really concerned, but she says, I'm very flattered that you think of me in that way, but never forget what I am and what I can do. In other words, when need be, I can kick ass with the best of them. We turn in, and Sheridan is turning the war room into the voice of the resistance. And, of course, Ivanova volunteers to be the leader of the voice of the resistance. The warrior caste is driving out the religious caste into the wasteland. Pharrell's family was all lost. In other words, a lot of the differences, because, the warrior and religious caste and the worker caste were all getting along fine. A lot like the Yugoslav wars that were raging at that time. Croats and Serbs and Muslims were all big one happy family, and then nationalists came in and drove wedges in between each of them, and it turned into a huge bloodbath. And as many of you probably already know, Mir Furlan was, I believe, Croatian, if I get her right, and her husband, it was Serbian. And so that caused quite a bit of commotion because she would do plays in Croatia and then go over to Belgrade and do, various plays and stuff like that, acting. And so they basically, in no uncertain terms, accused her of being a traitor to the cause. And, and just bad. Eventually, after the war, the Croatian president apologized, but it caused her a lot of grief and anguish at the time. We zip on in, and Marcus and Dr. Franklin deliver messages from Babylon 5 to the Mars Resistance, including, don't bomb civilian targets. We zip on in, and the White Star hails the Drakh ships, and Pharrell threatens Delenn with a gun. Basically, hear them out, hear what they have to say. And this Drakh ambassador came in with some sort of like a cloaking shield, but it greatly altered his appearance, and it was really strange. I mean, the Minbari were all like, "What the hell is that?" As the ambassador was coming on board. Used a translator, some sort of handheld translator, and the Drakh figured out when I can't remember if Pharrell mentioned Delenn by name. Well, the Drakh knew that Delenn had played an important role in driving the shadows from Zahadum, or I should say, driving the Drakh from Zahadum and destroying the home planet, and so they want no end of revenge on Delenn. As soon as the Drakh ship gets away and gets back to the mothership, the other ships turn around and try and pound the White Stars. But Delenn, having figured out who and what they are, was ready for them. Number 1 of the Resistance on Mars asks Franklin to dinner, and he gets teased by Marcus, and Marcus basically goes on guard duty while Franklin and Number 1 go for dinner. And you'll see why I put air quotes on that here a little bit later. Delenn has found out from Pharrell that the warrior caste has formed a council of its own. So that chasm is growing wider and wider. And unfortunately for Delenn and the Minbari, it ends up in full-scale civil war in just a few episodes. The White Stars engage the Drakh ship, and as Delenn has said before, never forget what I'm capable of, because towards the end, as the mothership of the Drakh was trying to make an escape through the jump gate, Delenn basically positioned the White Star right in their path and uttered the famous lines, "End this," in which case the White Star poured its entire firepower on this poor Drakh mothership and blows it to smithereens. Towards the end, at the very end, we hear Number 1, kind of reminiscent a little bit of When Harry Met Sally, and Meg Ryan was doing the restaurant scene. She calls out in a very sensuous voice, "Oh, Stephen." So dinner had a little bit of dessert as far as Number 1 and Dr. Franklin are concerned. At any rate, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let me know what you guys think about the CW possibly being bought out. Do you think it will have any effect on the Babylon 5 reboot? At any rate, as I said, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. See you next episode.